Hey guys, I'm just going to talk about some masculine fragrances. So in my previous videos, I talk a lot about unisex fragrances, and sometimes my favorites are a little bit even feminine leaning. So let's talk about some masculine fragrances for all the people that want to wear something more masculine and maybe not as unisex or feminine, right? Um, I'm kind of going to break this video up into two parts because my list is pretty big. But I'm just going to go through this quickly, like a list video. Also, my computer storage is not that big. I got like 3 gigs to film this, so the video might cut out. If it does, then I'll just have to free up some storage and then just make another video after that. First is Louis Vuitton L'Immensité. It's got grapefruit, ginger, bergamot, rosemary, water notes, sage, geranium, and ambroxan. It's very masculine, long-lasting, quite expensive. It's a little bit similar to Bvlgari Tiger to some people. To me, not really, but it's got that kind of feel to it. This is probably the best version of that DNA, in my opinion. So next is Fragrance One, Office for Men, Jeremy Fragrance's fragrance. It's got ambroxan, bergamot, orris, woods, floral notes, ambergris, jasmine, musk, and cachalotes. This is a very nice masculine scent. It's got like this ambroxan. So I actually do have a bottle of this one, and every time I wear it, I get like tons of compliments. It just gets a lot of reactions. So yes, it is Jeremy Fragrance's fragrance, but I'm not kidding when I mean he actually made a banger here. So this stuff I actually do recommend to a lot of people. It gets tons of hate online, and it doesn't deserve it. Like the performance of this is crazy, and it projects like crazy, and definitely a head turner. This one. So next is Bond number 9, The Scent of Peace. This is a little bit similar to Dior Sauvage and Creative Ventus if you mix them both. So you won't see Creative Ventus or Dior Sauvage in this list. Instead, I just put The Scent of Peace because it's pretty much a hybrid of both of those. This has got pineapple, juniper berry, bergamot, currant buds, cedar, and vetiver. Again, not much more I can say besides Dior Sauvage Cross Aventus. It's got that smoky, woody, dry smell, very masculine, a little peppery, but I think a little bit better than I think it's better than Sauvage and Aventus actually. So yeah, it's still got that fruitiness there from the pineapple, but really nice compliment getter as well. Safe, mass appealing. Next is Versace Dylan Blue. Obviously, you have to put this in the list. A lot of the ones in this list are going to be pretty generic, but they just work and they're really good. So this is musky. Some people call it the blue fragrance, but I think it's a little bit more. It's got some woods and green in there, which kind of actually balance that out. I don't think it's blue at all. Even though it says Dylan Blue in the name, it's kind of like Bleu De Chanel, where they're actually kind of in that green territory with that lots of incense, woods, and green elements in there as well. So this has citrus, fig leaf, ambroxan, papyrus or cypriol, violet leaf, incense, musk, tonka, saffron, black pepper, and water notes. So yeah, I do think it's very musky, ambroxan balm, but the cypriol papyrus kind of note in there really works really well in my opinion. Also good for compliments, probably the most complimented fragrance if you are looking for that. So next is Dior Homme Sport 2021. It's got citrus, aldehydes, alimi, pink pepper, woody notes, and olibanum. This is a very classy citrus that doesn't come off as too sour. I feel like this is actually probably one of the best citruses on the market, especially with performance. It does last a pretty decent amount of time. It gets the job done in any situation. You can wear it anytime, anywhere. And I like this smooth alimi resin in here. It makes it quite smooth and resinous. And like, I also do feel like there's probably neroli or something in there too, but it's very well done. Good quality, good balance here, good perfumery. So next is Aqua Di Gio, the Parfum. A lot of people don't like a lot of people were hating on the Parfum at first because they thought it was supposed to be Profumo redone, but I don't really think it smells like Profumo, honestly. Even though same color bottle. If you don't want the Parfum version, then go with the Profondo EDT. Yeah, because I think the Profondo EDT that just came out, it's a really good aquatic, citrusy, salty Aqua Di Gio, which is good alternative to this one. Because I don't know, if you don't like the Parfum, then you will definitely like that one. So anyway, the Parfum's got marine notes, citrus, rosemary, sage, geranium, olibanum, and patchouli. This one's a little bit heavy on the rosemary. But I'll be damned, it smells really good. Okay, so it's your typical Aqua Di Gio DNA, just tweaking little things at a time until they're just perfecting that DNA little by little. And I feel like this was one of the best releases prior to the newest Profondo EDT. So yeah, next is Bleu De Chanel EDT. It's got citrus, mint, pink pepper, ginger, nutmeg, jasmine, isoe, super, incense, vetiver, sandalwood, cedar, musk. So again, like Dylan Blue, this has got a lot of those that citrus, wood, and green elements, especially with the mint in here. Very classy, safe fragrance. Like you can pretty much wear this anytime, anywhere. I went with the EDT because I like how fresh it is. The EDP or the Parfum may be more mature because I think the Parfum's even more green. Actually, like they put like some extra green notes in the Parfum, so it actually smells quite different. And I feel like this one is still masculine enough and wearable enough. I prefer the EDT. Currently, I like the EDT more than the others, even though that changes sometimes, just depending on what mood I'm in. And sometimes I like the Parfum more. So you could wear any of them really. You could wear Parfum if you want. So next is Polo 67 by Ralph Lauren. It's got pineapple, citrus, sage, juniper, rosehip, vetiver, patchouli, and goldenrod. This one's, like the name says, it's like an ambroxan kind of fragrance with pineapple. So the pineapple sage combination is really prominent there, especially the juniper berry. I get a lot of juniper berry in this, or juniper wood, whatever it is. That juniper smell, it's definitely present in this. So yeah, if you're looking for a nice masculine, safe, fresh fragrance that pretty much no one's gonna hate, then Polo 67 is also a pretty good one. So a lot of the ones in this list are going to be safe, but I have thrown a couple in here that aren't necessarily safe picks, like the next one. So the next one is by Histoires de Parfums. This is Not a Blue Bottle 1.1. It's got aldehydes, orange, honey, geranium, ambroxan, musk, and patchouli. So the reason why this is not safe is because it's very sweet and the honey is very sweet. But this is a beast mode fragrance and may just be too strong for people to wear, right? So some people do think the ambroxan is also too synthetic and strong, because sometimes the ambroxan, just if it's in your face, it can give people a headache. But in the air, this stuff is probably really good in the air, like better than majority of fragrances out there. Like this stuff is made to smell in the air, not on people. So this is the type of fragrance you wear when you want to walk past someone and get attention, because that sillage is actually when this fragrance shines the best. And go light with the sprays with this one. And I'm an oversprayer. I cannot overspray this stuff. It's just too strong. So this is Not a Blue Bottle 1.1. Really good fragrance, by the way. I like this stuff, but honestly, if I spray it on my skin, there's no way I can sniff my hand, because it's just too strong up close. I don't like the smell if I do this, but if I go like this, move my hand around and I smell it in the air, then it's really good. So next is Issey Miyake Low Dissy. I don't think I need to talk much about this. It's a classic, but it's popular because it's very masculine and a lot of men like it. Yeah, so it's got tons of notes in there, like probably way too many notes for me to read out, but citruses, lemon, verbena, cypress, cologne, coriander, tarragon, sage, blue lotus, nutmeg, lily of the valley, saffron, cinnamon, mignonettes, whatever that is, vetiver, musk, cedar, sandalwood, and tobacco. So massive note breakdown, which was pretty common with older fragrances. So this is a classic. Maybe a little bit outdated now, but if you don't care about that and you want something a little bit more vintage, definitely go with something like this. It's cheap and pretty safe and wearable any occasion. So next is Zaharoff Seraphim Red. I don't really like many Zaharoff fragrances, but I actually did get a chance to meet him, and this was one that I got to try when I met him, which was the Seraphim Red and Seraphim Blue. I preferred the red over the blue. This has got pine, eucalyptus, pink pepper, sea notes, salt, seaweed, orange blossom, ylang ylang, sandalwood, musk, and vetiver. So this is pretty much your really nice kind of standard masculine fragrance, but it doesn't smell like every other blue fragrance on the market. This still has that Zaharoff DNA that he puts in quite a lot of his fragrances. So if you're looking for that, what's not your typical blue fragrance, you want something still like a niche kind of blue smell. This is like one of those niche blue ones that you could probably wear. Even though the name says Seraphim Red, it is kind of in that blue-ish territory. Despite having those green elements like pine and eucalyptus, it does still have like the sea notes, the seaweed and salt and stuff like that. So next is Penhaligons Mr Sam. This has got cardamom, cinnamon, black pepper, cumin, tobacco, saffron, vanilla, cedar, patchouli, and in my opinion, it's got like a resinous, elemi resin type of smell. So it's got that smooth, I don't know what that smooth resinous smell is, but I always say it's like elemi resin or something like that, because it smells like an ambery kind of glassy texture to it, which is hard to explain, but maybe I just say amber, like it's got this ambery feel to it, which is actually, in my opinion, it makes it quite smooth and really nice. And don't be thrown off by the cumin. I don't smell cumin in there. It is still a little bit more like on that the cardamom side. Cardamom and elemi resin, or cardamom saffron, like that kind of vibe going on. So next is Parfums de Percival. I'm putting Percival in the list over like Fierce and stuff, because Fierce is more soapy. Percival's more dry, woody, and musky. So Percival's got lavender, citruses, musk, balsam fir, clearwood, amberwood, ambroxan, jasmine, coriander seed, violet, hedione, cinnamon, and geranium. So yes, there's like some floral notes in there, but this is mostly dry woods, musk, and that ambroxan, and it's very clean, dry, masculine, and impossible to hate. So this is always going to be in my collection. This one, I love this one. And I don't really care if the Fierce DNA's outdated or whatever. Percival was just too good to not have in your collection, honestly. So next is also Parfums de Greenley. So this is the alternative to Percival if you don't want Percival. I put Greenley in here. So it's got apple, citrus, petitgrain, cedar, cashmere, and jasmine, pomerose, violet, oak moss, and musk. In my opinion, it's very woody, peppery, dry down, but the opening is like a nice bright green apple, with some oak moss in there as well. So I think the dry down's where this becomes masculine with that woody, peppery smell. The opening may not actually be that masculine. It may be too fruity and appley for you, but don't worry, that disappears pretty quickly, which is actually why I sold my bottle, which was I just wanted the opening of Greenley and I didn't really want that dry down. But if you're looking for that masculine dry down, then go Greenley for sure. So next is Roja Vetiver. This is actually one of the vetiver scents that I really like. So I'm going to put two alternatives in here. So Roja Vetiver, the one in the green bottle, it's got citrus, rose, jasmine, vetiver, cedar, oak moss, galbanum, caraway, pink pepper, guaiac, wood, nutmeg, pepper, celery seeds, and amarice. So kind of like a weird note breakdown, but don't worry too much. It's just like a very nice citrusy vetiver mossy fragrance. So this is your Fujiya barbershop type scent. Your typical vetiver scent with oak moss, vetiver, citruses, that type of thing, right? And where this really shines is just the citrus. The quality of the citrus was just really good. Um, and I don't really like Fujiya barbershops, but they are masculine, and that's why I'm putting them in the list. And Vetiver scents as well, kind of been done quite a lot, like Gillan, Tom Ford, Roja, Creed, um, you name it. They've been done quite a lot, right? So that's your first alternative. Your second is Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver, which is a classic. That one's got grapefruit, orange, blossom, sage, nutmeg, iris, pimento, vetiver, and oak moss. So yes, they're still mossy vetiver barbershops, but I feel like the citrus in both of them is done pretty well, and they're both like that dry woody smell. Very classy, very manly, maybe a little bit more mature for the older man, but I assume whoever's watching this list is probably an older, mature guy kind of wanting that masculine scent, because a lot of the younger kids don't really want the masculine stuff. They kind of want the party clubbing stuff, or the sexy kind of date night stuff. But for the men out there, this is probably, you're probably older and watching this video, I don't know. So next one's Joe Malone, Cypress and Grapevine. Pretty basic note breakdown. Cypress, woods, and Grapevine, like the name says. But this also a little bit similar to Percival in my opinion. It's got like that musky kind of smell to it as well. A little bit like it's hard to explain the smell of this one, but it's like some people may call it generic. Even though I don't really think there's anything that smells exactly like this, the closest I can just say is like that Percival DNA. Some people say Sauvage, but I don't think it's got Sauvage DNA in it. But it's really good, so I'm putting it in this list because it's currently in my top 10 favorites, and I want to recommend this stuff to more people because it's like, this is what more people should be wearing, because everything else is getting a little bit overdone. Like, a lot of people are starting to wear same kind of DNA, and you see it too much everywhere. So I want to recommend something a little bit more different, even though half of this list is literally generic stuff that everyone's wearing. I still want to throw a few unique ones in here as well. So next is going to be actually another generic one, but it's quite old and a lot of people aren't really wearing it these days. So it's called Bvlgari pour Homme. Got tea, aldehyde, citrus, lavender, nutmeg, orange blossom, pepper, iris, guaiac wood, Brazilian rosewood, coriander, cyclamen, cardamom, carnation, geranium, musk, vetiver, cedar, oak moss, and tonka. So massive note breakdown, tons of notes in there. This is pretty much just a really classy tea scent with those citrus in there. It's got like just a sparkling white clean smell. So if you do want like that clean kind of the color of glass, see, it's kind of like translucent, and it just kind of has like a metallic feel, or this shiny kind of feel to it, right? That texture of glass is kind of like what you get from Bvlgari pour Homme. It's literally, it's like that silvery metallic kind of smell. It's very hard to explain, but just clean and almost like a fresh laundry as well. I like this stuff. It's really good. So next one is a new release, but it's also starting to become a little bit too popular now. Not quite too popular yet. So it's Boss Bottled Beyond. It's got ginger, leather, and woods. Similar kind of note breakdown, but I feel like it's also got like elemi resin somewhere in this, because like the previous release was the Boss Bottled Bold Citrus, and the Bold Citrus had elemi in there. So I feel like this is a little bit similar to the Bold Citrus in some ways. It's got that elemi smell which they had put in the previous fragrance, so I do think it is in this one as well, but can't really say it is or isn't. But this is one of the best releases from Boss recently. It's the Beyond, Boss Bottled Beyond. So I might wrap this video up in maybe one more fragrance before I run out of memory on this computer. So Lacoste Silver Grey, another kind of metallic-y kind of fragrance. Also quite generic, but I like a lot of these generic masculine scents because they just get the job done, and they're pretty like safe wears, you know. So this has got tangerine incense, lavender, geranium, ambroxan, and vetiver. I think this is at its core just ambroxan with that lavender, soapy lavender ambroxan, and something metallic in there. I don't know what the metallic is. I'm just gonna say mineral notes, even though that's not listed. I get a lot of mineral smell in this one, so not like a salty smell. I think it's just that metallic kind of smell, and I really struggle to describe the smell of fragrances like this because they're not really my specialty, stuff that I'm that well versed in. Um, I usually don't really wear that masculine stuff that often, but I definitely have smelled a lot of them. So yeah, this one I do feel like is, yeah, ambroxan, basic, generic, but at the same time, no one's wearing this, so it's not a smell that everyone's wearing. It is generic, like you do smell it a lot if you are like me and you test perfume often, but it's not like generic like your Dior Sauvage, like literally everyone's wearing it. This is like, it's still, yeah, I don't smell this on anyone really. So kind of like Bvlgari Pour Homme. It's very similar to Bvlgari Pour Homme in some ways, which is actually kind of like why I like this stuff. But there is one thing in here that kind of threw me off a little bit. Like, I think it's in the dry down. There's like a weird, it might be the tangerine or something that comes out. I feel like they probably should have used a different citrus than the tangerine, because it's like a, like there's like a slight sweetness to it, like, but it's not really noticeable all the time. It's like you really gotta like put your nose in there, and then you'll notice this sweetness just doesn't really work with everything. Luckily, it's barely noticeable, so you probably won't even mind. Like, for me, I actually liked this fragrance the first 2 times I tried it before I even noticed that kind of sweetness in there. Now I'm kind of like, I think it is the tangerine. Looking at this, the note breakdown. But yeah, like it could be anything. I don't know if it is the tangerine, might be the incense or something, but incense usually isn't sweet in my opinion. So yeah, it's kind of like if you were to, it's kind of like you want to make a lemonade and you want to capture that lemonade's kind of feel, and then someone put like orange in there, and the orange just doesn't really work with the lemonade. You know what I mean? Like the orange kind of smell doesn't work with that kind of profile, the flavor profile. Same with the scent profile. I feel like the tangerine is weird, but it doesn't matter. Like it's good. It's not a bad fragrance at all. Even though I'm kind of like, I'm recommending it, but then at the same time I'm contradicting myself by saying there's some things in here that are weird. Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm recommending it because it is a good fragrance. I do like it. Yeah, so I'm gonna end this video here and stay tuned because there's gonna be a part 2 coming up with a lot more fragrances I got on here as well. So it's probably another 10 plus fragrances I'm gonna add to the next video. So peace out, guys.